I was talking to a guy in my peer group, and he's like, everybody I've talked to that has sold to Evergreen is really happy. I think what Evergreen and Lyra are doing is so radical that people just don't believe it. I think when and it makes sense, right? When you're throwing out all this money to purchase a business, you would think you would want to have some control over what's going on or change some things, but they really do believe in the decentralization and the innovation and all the stuff that happens at the MSP level. But I think it is hard for people to believe. We closed the sale of our business in 6 weeks. And it was very clear to me that going through that close process was a lot more mature than what I had heard about with other transactions with peers, or even some of the folks that we had talked to before deciding to move forward with Evergreen. Everything was very dialed in, very operationalized, very smooth. And you can tell there's a huge commitment to continuous improvement. I think most of the transactions that I've seen go bad are where the new group comes in and just completely destroys the culture, and all the employees quit, and all of the clients leave. Not all, but a lot. And maybe some people are okay with that, and they're like, well, I got paid and I don't care. But most business owners are kind of passionate about that. And so that was really important to us. And I think there's a skepticism, right? I think when you enter into a partnership like this, you're like, well, where's the gotcha coming from? And, 9 months in, there really hasn't been a gotcha. We're primarily kind of left alone to run our business decentralized. And we have some very specific cultural things. We're really passionate about what we do. All of our staff embodies that. We're really growth mindset type people. And we really are passionate about taking care of our people. We give everybody that works for us every other Friday off, which is kind of radical. And but it's been great for us. Our retention's crazy high. Our employees love it, and we haven't lost any productivity. And so as we were going through this process with Evergreen, we're like, hey, is that going to change? And they're like, nope. And it hasn't, And so I think that our culture has stayed the same. And there's a saying that culture eats strategy for lunch. 100% believe that. I'm totally convinced that Evergreen believes that, and they know that culture is really, really super important, and that even the smallest changes that are mandated down from an acquirer can really mess that up. And so I think they've really been true to their word about that. They don't really, it's not like we can't buy snacks for the people anymore. I think prospective sellers think that. Hey, I'm going to be told I can't do all these things. And of course, none of that has happened with us. And I believed it wouldn't, but now sitting here 9 months later, not only has it not been changed, but you can tell it's very intentional. It's very intentional that we want to leave the culture intact so that the business can continue to thrive and innovate. Clearly, there's a philosophical component to where this idea that innovation happens closest to the customer, which is something they talk about a lot. And that makes a lot of sense, right? The people serving the customers are going to know it the best and come up with the best ideas, whether it's operational efficiency or whether it's technology or AI. There's a lot of innovation that's happening right there. And it's clear that they're very committed to keeping that. We're just really not told to do a lot of things. We have a monthly meeting with our regional CEO, and most of the conversation is around, how can I help you? Which is weird. It seems backwards from what I traditionally think of in terms of these acquisitions. But I think a lot of MSPs really are looking for a home for their business that is going to sort of continue and grow and get even better.